Now we're on page 3, and the first one here is Frankenstein the Monster Returns.
I haven't played it.
I've tried this one out before. It's kind of a mess, but weirdly enough, it kind of like has like interesting aspects to it, but I still don't think it's like really great. Like I like the way it looks I think is cool, and I think the music is kind of interesting in spots, but yeah, it's just a really fucking hard game because I remember there's like enemies that fly like at you like really quickly.
Do they go around in an arc sine wave shape?
Kind of.
That's like a lot of NES games did. God, I've seen that in my dreams all the time.
Yeah, dude. It's yeah, like I said, it has interesting aspects to it, but it's kind of not great. But I'll definitely say that I definitely think it's better than the other Bandai horror related game. It's a little, yeah, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Yep, it's better than
It's funny you
that.
just say that, and I know that. Yeah. Okay, good to hear.
All right, next is Gargoyle's Quest 2.
Good game. Played it, beat it. Want to play it again? RPG-ish, but it kind of fools you into the RPG-ish. You have top-down sections where you go to towns. There's not much in the towns. You can get extra lives by buying by crystals you find in the overworld. I think they're called. But there's not much to the RPG areas. You do something, go in a dungeon, fight these battles in the overworld to get item or not experience, but to I think they drop money or something for you. I can't remember. It's been a while, but there's like side-scrolling overhead random battles in the field map, and you get like different items that let you fly farther and shoot different weapons and good platforming. You can fly and grab the walls and such. Good game. Good game.
Yeah, I played this one a little bit. I like it, but I just never spent a lot of time with it. But I think it's good. I definitely like it better than Ghost and Goblins.
Oh yeah, it's a totally different game, but yeah, it's actually probably more approachable, even though
Accessible.
it's difficult. Yeah, accessible than Ghosts and Goblins for sure. It's not as hard. There are some tricky parts, but it's a good game.
Yeah, I'll definitely try out that one more when I can.
Yeah, it's nothing like Ghost and it's more RPG-ish, but the platforming is very nice in it because you can float and grab onto walls, and
Oh,
it's
yep.
fun. The platforming in it.
Alright, next up we got is Genghis Kong.
Have not played this. I'm guessing this is a Koei game.
It is. Yeah,
Oh
I've
yeah,
never
it says
played it
right there.
either. So yeah, easy enough. Alright, now next up is Ghoul School.
I have played this. Not only have I played this, I had a copy and I bought another copy for a friend when I was at MagFest one year. It's a open-ended, I don't want to say exploration platformer, but it's very cryptic on where to go. The hit detection is weird, and yeah, that's it. That's all I can say about it. You're in a school.
Yeah,
I
I've never
played like
played it,
maybe
so I don't
10
know
minutes
much
of
about
it.
it.
So that's all I know about it.
Okay. Yeah. Alright. Next up is Godzilla 2 War of the
I
Monsters.
did not know there was a Godzilla 2, so I haven't played this one.
I played this one, and yeah, going back to that first Koei title that we looked at, the guy that did this cover also
Oh,
did
he
that
did
one.
that. Oh, that's a good cover.
Yeah, which
Can't
is
see
why
his
this one
head
looks
though.
badass looking.
Guy is talented.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's the nicest thing I'll say about this game because
Oh
unfortunately,
no.
Godzilla 2 is really ass. Because this
Oh.
one doesn't play like the first Godzilla game
Yeah,
that
the
you're
first
probably
one I
familiar
kind of
with.
like. Kind of like the first one. It's kind of repetitive, but so
I
this
think the
one's
first
not
one's
like that at all.
okay. It just has a
Yeah.
couple weird things about it that kind of like I don't like.
Hmm.
But here's the thing though. I think the first game is better than the second one because the second one, like the gameplay style is like completely different. It plays like a tactical RPG.
Oh wow. Okay.
But
The
here's
first
the
one.
weird thing though. I don't have a problem with tactical RPGs, but the mechanics that they have in it are fucking ass. Like they literally like when you try to fight like the cuz you play as the military fighting the monsters. Which
Oh wow. That's like people complain about the movies. Too many people talking. Now they're doing that in the game. That's
yeah, yeah, it's basically like that.
okay. Interesting. They really want. Okay. It's not
Yeah,
what I want
but
to do when I play a Godzilla game, but okay.
yeah, so that in itself is weird, but even when you get to like fights with the enemies, it goes into like a slot machine, and the slot machine
Oh
is
what?
like really hard to get right. So of course, like most of the time, like you'll just get fucking killed. So yeah, it's just bad.
Wow.
Yeah,
I was not
unfortunately.
expecting that. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Wow.
All right. Next up is Go 13, the secret episode.
I played this a few times. Your sprite's really big, like Kenshiro's, probably even bigger than that. You jump like a whole building length when you jump.
Yeah,
It
I
has,
remember that.
I think it has, like, you remember that too? Yeah, that's the thing that stands out. Early, I want to say it's an early NES game. It's, I didn't want to play more of it. It's probably fine. I think when you get further, because there's like some almost like Tecmo movie scenes in it, like Tecmo, the company did like with Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, it has
Um,
like the cutscenes. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, and that's kind of cool. And I think there's different types of playing in it, like a maze part too, but I never got that far. But it's one I'd like to try out more of.
yeah, I played it a bit, and I like it for what it is. I don't think it's bad, but I think it's one of those games that like it is a little bit like you said, it is a little bit confusing on what you're supposed to do at times.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
also, one weird thing I know about the game is that I'm actually surprised the game did not get like that censored over here, because there's literally a part in the game where like they kind of hint at like your character like having sex
yeah, you
with a
like meet a girl
prostitute.
or something. Yeah, yeah, I've seen pictures of that on the internet. Yeah, it's funny, these games. Some of these games I've never played, but I know about them from the internet.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of weird. Also, did you ever watch the anime Go 13?
I have not. It's been going on forever, though. I know.
Yeah, it's one of the longest running series, at least when it comes to the manga. I know I've seen the one of the movies that came out in the 80s, and it was really good.
I'd like to try that. I like the Fist of the North Star, and I like that kind of '80s anime. So I'd like to give that a shot sometime.
Oh yeah, I think it's you're gonna like Go 13. I mean, it's not like exactly like Fist of the North Star, but but it
Oh
has.
yeah, nothing like it. But yeah, I like the like the animation style of like the '80s stuff, like kind of
Oh yeah, no,
animation
you'll
style.
enjoy it.
Okay.
Next we got is Gotcha the Sport, one of the most oddball LJN games.
Yeah, I played this. That's all I got to say about it. I don't remember much. I know it's a light gun game, right? If I
Yeah, it's a
remember
light gun
correctly,
game.
and I don't remember being super blown away by it. I don't have much more to say on it than that,
Yeah,
really.
I've
I
never
think
played it, but I've actually heard some people say that might actually be like the best LGN game because it's like the most functioning one. But
I mean, LJN stuff, you had to, you know, a lot of people rented them as kids and they didn't know what to do. I think if you own an LGN game and you put some time into it, like Jaws or Nightmare on Elm Street or something, or Beetlejuice, I think if you put more time in those games and you learn them, I think you'll have a better value of them.
yeah,
But
probably.
the Gotcha, I know it's based on it was a toy too. I think Gotcha Paintball or something.
Yeah.
That's all I know about it. Sorry, I don't know anything more about Gotcha.
Yeah, it's no big deal. I mean, I don't know much about it either, outside of people say that it's one of the better LGN games because of, their reputation.
Yeah, but they were just a publisher. They didn't. They just farmed out. They got the license and farmed out to the cheapest. Most a lot of rare stuff, but
Yeah, Rare and Atlas, believe it or not.
yeah, Atlas. They did the Jaws one, I think, right?
Yeah, they did Jaws and they did Friday the 13th. And there was a couple other ones, but I forget right now. But anyways, next up is Goonies 2.
Yeah, now that I played this, I beat this recently again. I like this game. It has great music. It plays well in the side-scrolling sections. It's a little too cryptic in some parts when you go in the first-person mazes. It slows the game down because you're constantly hitting walls to find items. There's some parts where there's one part where you have to bomb a wall that's not even indicated at to get a not needed item, but it helps out the speed shoes, I think. Basically, you're a side scroller, and that part of the game is like pretty much hit people with a yo-yo. You go indoors, and then you go to a room, and you can either hit to find an item that pops up when you hit a wall, or pick up an item there. And you get the items, you talk to people, and then you figure out where to go. You have a front side and a back side. The front side, you have to look at Mikey on the bottom, and if he's going towards away from you into the screen, like going away, that means you're on the front side going to the back, and that means up goes forward. If he's going towards you, that means back goes forward. So it switches your controls into first person modes. And the map is very big. But overall, I do like the Goonies. I just think the first person segments are kind of, they don't keep, like when you find something, it doesn't leave the safe open. So you come back and, did I hit this? Did I open it? You waste a key and, oh yeah, I did get this. Or they need to leave the stuff you broke already broken. And that would have improved it a lot. So you're not going and thinking, was I here again?
Yeah,
But it's
that's
overall, it's pretty good. It's just problems with it.
yeah. I've tried it out a little bit, and yeah, I could never get far into it because of those damn sections.
Yeah, they're confusing. You got to hit everything. It's just, it has problems, but I think it's like the side scrolling part's great. But once you do understand what the game wants of you, I enjoyed it a lot more. It just took me a long time to go through. Even my second time, it took me a long time.
Yeah, I will say it has good music in it.
Oh yeah, the music is great. You see 8-bit pixelated Ma Fratelli from the movie. You have the Fratelli brothers running around. Good music. No sloth though. No sloth, which is disappointing.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep. Yep.
uh,
But speaking of games that are good enough for you, let's go to Gremlins 2,
the new batch.
the new batch. Have you played this?
Yes, I actually do own a copy of this one, weirdly enough.
Nice.
And
How did?
yeah, I actually really like Gremlins 2. I mean, for one, it's a Sunsoft game, so as we've been talking about, the music in it is really awesome.
Oh yeah, that Sunsoft music, man. Even when the game's kicking your butt, you enjoy it.
Yeah, no, Gremlins 2 I think is actually a cool game. I like it. It's like top-down platformer. So, yeah, even though the jumping across certain parts can be a little bit like weird, like I do like the actual like combat in it. I think is cool, and it does have some interesting levels. And I like the shopkeeper guy where he's like, "What item would you like?"
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Just
and you can
really,
only do it once, so make sure you get your right. I wish you could go in that shop more than once. I really wish you could. That would make the game a lot more easier. But
yeah, the game is really hard, which is why I never
yeah.
completed it. But I enjoy it though. I think it's actually like a
Oh
good
yeah,
like movie tie-in game.
I agree with you completely. It's a fun game. Never saw the movie, but I do like the NES game
I've
a
seen
lot.
Gremlins 2. I think it's an okay movie. I like the first one a lot better.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'd like to see it sometime because the game is good. I like the game a lot. Great music too. Just listen to the soundtrack if you don't want to play the game. Great music.
Yeah. I don't even, from what I remember playing of the game, I don't think it follows the second movie that well. At least not that I can remember.
I remember I growing up playing this game. I wanted to make. I got one of those paper clips that you shoot. You make a bow and arrow out of as
Oh yeah.
gizmo. And I tried to make one of those bow and arrows because I played the game. I put like a rubber band around it and I tried to make it. It did not work.
No. Oh, that's funny. All right. Next is Guardian Legend.
I am going to let you talk about this one because I know you love this game.
Yeah, I really adore this game a lot. Now, I will say, the North American cover art does not do the game justice, but this cover art right here was from the European one, which is a little better, but I think the Japanese cover art's my favorite. But anyways, the game itself, I really like it a lot. I think it's a great, like, kind of, like, mix up between a shoot 'em up, but it also has, like, Zelda, like, top-down,
Mhm.
like, exploration, which I really like. It's really fun. I like the music. I like the way it looks. I think it's a very underrated Nintendo IP because I think this was like a first party Nintendo game. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
I
I did
think it
not know that. That's
was.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, or if it wasn't first party, it was probably second party or something. But
Okay.
yeah, I know it is a game that Nintendo does own like the rights to of some sort. So I always wish they would like make a game out like another game out of it, but they just never did.
Yeah, I agree. It's fantastic. It takes a little bit to get going, but once you're in it, you're hooked. You find a few upgrades, you get going, you get your first dungeon under your belt. You feel how the game wants to play. I think you'll be hooked. Even if you're not a big shooter fan, I think the exploration and the shooter parts are not overly too complex. And I think you got a password system, so you're not have to do it in one go. Fantastic game. I agree with you. Underrated.
Yeah, and also the shoot 'em up parts are not that hard. I think.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. But
Yeah,
I mean, it's still a challenge if you don't play shooters, but you can get through it.
yeah, it's not like ridiculously hard.
It's not like a shooter, bullet hell they call them. It's not.
Yeah, no, no, no.
You don't take one hit deaths or anything. You got a little life bar and
Yep. All right. Yeah, no, that game's just great.
fantastic. Play that
Yep.
and Gremlins too.
No, yep. And next up, we got another one of my favorites is Guerrilla War.
Ah, I'm glad to hear you like this one too, because I didn't play this one. Sorry, I'm talking. But
You didn't play this one
go
until
ahead.
what?
I didn't play this one until a few years ago, and I like it a lot. I think I'd like to play a two-player. It's a great game. I not great, but it's very fun. Very fun to play. Very generous too. You start right when you die. You can go through it pretty easily. Fun action.
Yeah, I actually grew up with this game. This was actually one of the other first few games I got with my NES, and yeah, I loved it. I loved it as a kid. I mean, I still love it today because I actually have played it in like somewhat recent years, and I was like, yeah, it's still awesome. I love it. This is basically what Akari Warriors should have been.
I agree completely.
Like it plays so much better, has nicer graphics, and also has a way better soundtrack, and just a lot of crazy action, and even and I have played the game two players before, and it actually
Oh,
still
nice.
does play really well. Like it doesn't like slow down like a lot.
Good game. Very good game.
Yeah,
And that part
definitely
where
one
you're
of my favorite top-down shooters on the system, honestly.
fun, not ball bustingly difficult, and you can actually avoid stuff unlike Akari Warriors.
Yeah. All right, next up we got a one with a weird cover called Gunnack.
I have not played this one.
Okay, I've played this one, and I think it's actually a really good shoot 'em up. It is a little bit on the harder side, but I do think it is really fun though. Like I think it's another shoot 'em up on the system that I think is actually like just as good as like some of the ones that you can get on like the TurboGrafx or the Genesis.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good, but as again, it's also kind of tough, and also you gotta love the fact that you're shooting at carrots.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that until you pointed out. There are carrots.
Yeah, there's
Why are
carrots on
they
the
really in
cover.
the game? Like, you're shooting carrots in the game.
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that's pretty. I want to play this now. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Next up we got is Hammer and Harry.
No, I haven't played, but that looks like Stallone from the front. I have not played this. No. Have you played Mr.
I
Hammer
played
and
it
Harry?
once before. I think it's actually a pretty decent game. I wouldn't say the NES version is the best. I think the arcade version is better. And also, there's also a PSP like remake that they did that was also like really cool too.
PSP had
Yeah,
Hammer and Harry. Huh?
yeah. No,
Hmm.
it's a pretty good platformer where you just bash people with a hammer. It's quite fun.
Yeah.
But
Wonder why we
yeah,
didn't.
that's another game that actually has like a weird amount of sequels to it that were all like Japan only.
No, we didn't get this one. That was Europe only, right?
Hammer and did we get? I thought we did get it.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, I don't remember exactly, but I do know that most of the games were Japan only.
Oh, okay.
But maybe that one was Europe only. I forget right now, but
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything because I'm not sure.
all right. Next is Hatris.
I have not played Hatris.
I actually played it once. It's basically just Tetris but with hats, and I know one of the creators of Tetris made it, and it's all right. It's just it's kind of more of like a gimmicky version of Tetris, so not much needed to say
Oh,
there.
much more gimmicky you can get than hats falling down, huh?
Yeah, like basically you have people's heads on the bottom, and then you just gotta like drop like hats
Oh,
on them, and then if you
okay.
get the certain amount in a row, they like disappear and you get points.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. All right, next is heavy barrel.
I have played this. I've beaten it, and it's fun. It's a top-down shooter, much like the Super C levels top-down. Um, Good, better graphics than Guerrilla War. A lot less messy looking than Guerrilla War. More challenging than Guerrilla War. But you have to find like 5 pieces of the heavy barrel. So there's these chests you open with keys. You get keys to open chests, and the chest could have anything from a piece of the heavy barrel to a different weapon. So the more you play, the more you realize where the chests you want to open are, and you can get through the game better. Once you get the heavy barrel, you're limited to 1 minute of just obliterating everything with this weapon. It's like a big fireball that takes up a third of the screen. You just wipe out everything. It feels so fun. Um,
Sounds
but
awesome.
so you kind of don't want to tie your when you get this thing to like fighting a boss or something. So if you know where the chests are, that's what most of the game is, learning where the chests are. I enjoyed it. I played through it like 2 loops. because once you do it once, you to beat it once enough to beat it, you learn where all the stuff is, and you can go through it pretty quickly. But it starts out pretty difficult until you learn how to do everything.
Yeah,
If you like top-down shooters,
I've actually never played that one, but if you said it plays similar to Guerrilla Warfare, I think I would like it.
well, not similar, but it's like a top. I was putting it as a top-down shooter, but you might like it if you like Guerrilla Warfare. It's a lot more hard. Guerrilla War, it's a lot more harder, but it has a lot more to it because you got to its chest to open different weapons. Yeah, I've got that in Guerrilla War, but yeah, you might like it.
Okay, well that's interesting to know. All right,
Mhm.
next up we got is Home Alone games.
I have not played them. I own them both, but I have not played them.
I've only played the first one that I can remember, and the first one is weird because um so you know me, I'm like the huge like deception guy, right? Well,
Mhm.
the first Home Alone game, believe it or not, kind of has an element of the Deception series, but obviously this came out first.
Oh, because you're like setting traps to get the wet bandits, right?
Yeah, basically you're just in this house and you just like set traps on like the guys there. Why can I not remember their fucking names? But anyways, yeah, you set traps on them and then you gotta like collect a bunch of stuff within like a time limit. But it's really fucking hard though, like cause like you walk like pretty slow and the enemies are really fast, so it's really tough. Like I know there are some people out there that can literally beat the game in like 10 minutes because it's
Oh
really that
yeah.
short of a game, but
There's always people that could do that. Yep.
yeah, but yeah, unfortunately, I just don't think it's that good. Like I said, I think like the people that made the Deception series, they probably looked at that game and were just like, "Hey, you know what? We can do this game. We're gonna make it even better and more awesome." And yeah, they did.
Or maybe they watched Home Alone and they were inspired by Home Alone.
I think so, probably. But yeah,
Either or.
that's all I could say about Home Alone. And then Home Alone 2, I think I played the Game Boy version, weirdly enough, but not the NES one.
Okay. Probably similar, just a port with crop screen or something.
Yeah, I remember it just being like a side-scrolling game, and it had like weird detection, and and you're in New York, and I remember you do like the knee slide thing. Yeah,
Oh, you did do the knee slide. Okay.
yeah. All
Cool.
right. Next up, we got is Hudson Hawk or Hudson Cock.
I knew you were gonna say
Yeah,
that.
of course.
I have not played Hudson Hawk or Hudson Cock.
No, I've never played it either. All right. Moving along, we got the Hunt for Red October.
I have not played this.
I love your Sean Connery.
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah, I actually have, but not on the NES though. I've played it on the Super Nintendo, and
Oh, there's a Super Nintendo port. Neat.
yeah, there is. And yeah, this is okay, so funny story. So, how I found out about the game, well, obviously I know the movie and I love the movie. I think it's great. But when I saw a cartridge at a thrift store of the Super Nintendo game and I was like, "What the fuck? They made a game based after the Hunt for Red October?" So then I
Well,
bought it for like a
and
couple dollars and then I took it home, I played it, and I was like, "Huh, you know what? This game is actually not that bad, but not exactly what I was expecting."
okay.
So what it is, and I actually have looked at footage of the NES game, and it's a similar concept, but the levels are like completely different. It's kind of like a shoot 'em up, but as like a submarine. So kind of like that one game, In the Hunt, but not as
Okay.
good as that because it is a lot more slower pace.
I
But
was thinking service.
yeah, but it's actually surprisingly a decent game. It's better than you'd think it would be. But
Okay.
yeah, but like I said, I'm just talking about the Super Nintendo one.
Okay. Wonder if they were.
But yeah, like I said, like how the fuck do you make the Hunt for Red October into a video game? Well,
Yeah,
they
that's
did
like
it.
making freaking Patriot games or something into a
Yeah,
video games. That just shows how much they wanted to license. They could get the license cheap to crap out a game.
yeah, yeah. No kidding. All right. Next up is Ikari Warriors 2 and 3. We didn't include the first one because we feel like it's already well known enough.
Yeah, yeah. I have not played either of these.
I've played the two others. The second game, honestly, despite it having a cool idea that you can actually go to shops and upgrade your stuff, which I think is cool. Unfortunately, I think everything else about it is worse. Like I find the movement is like not that much better than the first game. Also, the game just looks way uglier too. Like everything just looks like a bunch of gray crap.
That's always fun.
Yeah, so I really don't like the second one that much, despite it having like a cool like little idea that it has. But the third game, however, I actually think the third game is surprisingly decent. Like, I would actually say it's like the best game in the series. But it's also kind of weird too because they actually gave up using guns, so instead you just run around and punch and kick people.
Look on the cover, he's picking up a guy.
Yeah, like so it kind of plays similar where it's like, top down and then you run around but instead of shooting at people, it's almost like a top down beat 'em up, I guess.
Okay.
And yeah, like I said, it's surprisingly
I
not a
did not
bad
know that.
game, but it's also
Okay.
just kind of funny that like, they just gave up with like guns and they just started beating the shit out of people. I guess that's
It,
kind of why SNK decided to be like, "Hey, you know what? We should make these guys into our King of Fighters games."
oh, they're not in it, are they?
They are in the King of
Oh,
Fighters.
really?
Yeah,
Uh,
it's Ralph and Clark.
oh, that's their names.
Yeah, yeah, they were from all the Ikari Warriors games and they made them into KOF and then of course, they added more and shit.
Wow, did not know that. That's like learning
Yeah,
about that one person in the King of Fighters, and now Ralph and Clark.
yeah, no, a lot of like the King of Fighters really did include a lot of like really interesting characters from like of course a lot of them like were just made for the game, but there was a lot of stuff that were actually like were in like other properties. They even made a character from a freaking pachinko game.
Before Pachinko was really huge, they could make money off of it. Nice.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Image Fight.
I know it's a shooter. I haven't played it though.
I've never played it either, weirdly enough. All right. The Immortal.
I've played it, and I got to the Goblin guy and died a few times, or maybe once beat him. So I can't really speak about how to play it because I never read the manual or actually sat down to learn how to play it. But it's like a top-down dungeon exploration where you get items and try to progress. That's all I know about it. I know it was on PC and Genesis as well, I think, or at least Genesis.
It was on Genesis too, yeah. That's actually the version I played. I never played it on NES. And yeah, on Genesis, it does look nicer from what I remember, but it's also still like really fucking hard. Like you still die like easily.
Yeah, it's one of those games where you got to really put time into it to learn where everything's at and how to get the nuance of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say much about it either, because like you, like I like played it for a bit. I died a bunch of times, so I'm just like, fuck it.
Yeah, well, yeah. Same here. I was always intrigued by the graphics. Seeing it in Nintendo Power, I think covered it. There's a cool picture of him battling a goblin. I always thought that was so cool looking graphics.
Yeah. Alright, next is Infiltrator.
I have not played Infiltrator.
I have played it. In fact, this is another game I actually grew up playing. Like, when I first got my NES, it came with mine. And
Oh,
it actually has two modes in it, which is interesting. So it has one mode that's like a flying sim. I think I played it like maybe like twice and then like never touched it again.
oh, so you can pick which mode you want.
Yeah, you can pick which one. You got the flying mode, which, like I said, I thought it was pretty boring. And then there's another mode, which is like a stealth mode. This is the mode that I mostly tried to play. And it was, oh man, the best way I can compare it is it's kind of like the original Metal Gear games. Not the one on PS1, but, like the older ones, like on MSX
Oh,
and
really? I
such.
wouldn't have figured that. I thought it was
It's
like a flight simulator or something.
Yeah, like I said, it has two aspects to it, and one of them is like I said, it's like a stealth game where you play as this like guy in a blue outfit, and you just kind of like gotta infiltrate a building, and you gotta like get like, you gotta like sneak around, not get caught, and then you gotta find clues and all this type of stuff. I also remember there's one screen that has like landmines, and they're all invisible, but you can tell where they are if you use a detector. And I remember
Oh,
that part
okay.
was like really
That's kind
tricky
of
the
cool.
first time.
Until you got to the detector, you're like, why? How am I supposed to get past this? I'm keep blowing up. Oh, there's a detector.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
It was it's one that I actually kind of do want to play again because I literally have not played that game in at least like more than 10 years. Oh yeah, probably almost 20 years now that I haven't played
Well,
it, but I kind of
yeah.
want to go back to it though.
Well, it's one you had grown up. It's special to you.
Yeah, but I remember actually kind of liking the stealth parts though. Like they were kind of
Just,
interesting.
just not the sim parts or this
Yeah,
whatever.
the sim part is just whatever. They should have just took that out of the game, but I guess they needed to put the cover art aspect to it.
Yeah, I didn't. I would have picked it. I figured it was all sim, but nope.
Yeah, I think I remember it being all right. I mean, hey, I played it a lot as a kid, so at least tells you that I at least had some enjoyment with it.
Yeah, and you had some good games too, so this was
Yeah.
not like one that you could have went to something else. So
All right. Now, next up, we got its Iron Tank.
I don't think I played this one.
This one I have played, but weirdly enough, I actually played it on that Switch collection with the SNK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's on there. And I actually think it's actually a pretty good game, and I do think the NES port is actually done pretty well. Of course, the arcade version I think is like the better way to do it, but I think it's actually done pretty well on the NES though. Like it still looks pretty good, still controls well, and yeah, it's basically just like a top-down shooter, but you're a tank. And yeah,
Top
it's
down.
not bad. I think it's
I
pretty
think
good for what
I
it is.
top down. May I did play this. I played a top down tank game on NES, so this must have been it.
It might have
Like,
been that one, yeah, because I do think it is one of the more like cooler looking ones. All right. Next
yeah,
up is Isolated Warrior.
yes, from one of my favorite late developers I found out about. Kid, I think, developed this game. Great
Yes.
game. Um, every Kid game I played, I liked, and this is no question another great one. Isometric shooter. You could shoot, get different bomb power. You power up your bomb. You have a bomb. You have like different weapons. You have a fast firing weapon. Um, you can upgrade, and you can jump and do a flip and toss bombs out. Difficult, and to get the good ending, you have to, I believe, I can't remember. You have to do something special to get the last boss to fight him. But good game. Isolated Warrior, good music, good. It's you don't see a lot of isometric shooters that are actually on the NES. They're pretty. It's pretty good. I recommend Isolated
Yeah.
Warrior if you like
I
shooters.
played this one once, and yeah, I like it too. I think it's actually pretty good. It's just, like you said, it is really hard, so I never got
Mm-hmm.
like crazy far into it, but I like it though. I like what I played of it.
Yeah, it's a lot of memorization. But one game that is, I think a lot of people have played. I don't know why this is on unheard of. Jackal for the NES.
Yeah, I don't know either, but
Okay, I take it you've played Jackal.
yeah, I played it.
Okay. Not much else to say. It's top down, a two-player game. So if you had a brother or something back then, I didn't. You could play this game. Uh, get in a jeep. You can get like a grenade to toss. You upgrade it to a missile by getting hostages. Drop off the hostages, and you go into buildings and get upgrades for your to a missile. Good music, kind of cool. Like I forget what they say at the beginning of the level. The cutscenes. Good game. Top down.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good Konami game. I always enjoyed that one.
I agree.
All right, next up is Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu.
Yeah, good game. Hudson developed. Fun. Big, great, beautiful looking sprites. Big sprites. Do a kick. You can do a punch. You can do a jump kick, and then you get different moves. You get like this spinning kick. You get like another kind of move and another kind of move. Not very long. Enough challenge that you probably won't blow through it the first time, but maybe the second or third time you might get there, or maybe even within 12, 10 times you'll probably get there, and it's long enough that you'll probably enjoy it. Good music, the animation's good. The first time I ever heard about Jackie Chan.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. I really like this one. I mostly play it on the Turbo Graphics, but I have played it on NES though, because that was how I first knew about it. And yeah, I actually really like it too. I think it's a cool little game. In fact, I like the way that they made Jackie Chan look in it.
Oh yeah, he's very comical looking. They nailed it. I think it's very expressive.
Yeah,
You think it's a very good game.
yeah, it's a good one.
Yep, play that one if you can, as long as along with Felix. Also, we move on to one that you like. You said you liked more than the Flintstones game, and that's Jetsons Cogwell Caper. Talk more about this game because I have not played it.
Yeah, I played this one. This is another game that a lot of people overhype as being like, oh, it's one of the rarest games ever made, and all this and that. And that was another reason why I wanted to play it, was just because I wanted to see like what it was all about. And this one I actually do kind of like. This one actually plays very similar to Rescue Rangers a little bit, where like
Oh,
you like pick up boxes and you throw them.
Nice.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty decent game. I actually remember really liking it. And of course, like the animation on the character is kind of funny looking, but yeah, it's great.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Just, obviously I wouldn't recommend paying the prices that it goes
Yeah.
for,
I
but
mean,
yeah,
you
I
can
do
play
think
it
it is
other
a pretty
ways.
solid game though.
You can play it other ways. You know how to play it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Next up
Moving
we
on,
got is
oh,
Journey.
sorry.
Oh, Journey to Siluous is next.
Yes, we've been on quite a journey, and we're going to Journey to Silius, another Sunsoft banger. Have you played Journey to Silius?
Yes, I actually own this one.
Nice. That's a good one to own. What are your thoughts on it?
I really like it. I do think it is hard, and I do think the fact that you don't have unlimited ammo for your like special guns, I think is a little annoying. But despite that, though, I like the level design a bit, and I like the way it looks. The music is amazing. It's probably one of my favorite like
Agreed.
NES soundtracks for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I really
I
wish people would do like covers of that OST because I think that would be really cool.
Oh, they don't. Yeah, that if they don't, yeah, get on that, man. That's
I've heard like
soundtrack's great.
one cover of like the very first stage theme, but I never heard any of the others as far as I know. But I know the second stage theme, like that one, I can picture it like sounding like really like heavy metal, and it would be amazing.
Oh yeah, if they haven't, I can't believe that's yeah. Get on that great soundtrack. It's on Switch Online too. Uh, I think so you can
Yeah, I
play
think
it
it
there.
is. Yeah.
Which if you try it out, might like it. I agree with
Also,
everything you said.
yeah. Also, one weird fact about it was that it was originally supposed to be a Terminator game, but it,
Oh
they couldn't
yeah,
get the
yeah, yeah,
rights.
yeah. I will say the jump's a little hard to get used to. He has an arc to you that once you jump, you're committed to this arcing jump that you got to kind of get used to. But great game.
Yeah, I enjoy it. And then
Mhm.
next we got another one of my favorites is Kabuki Quantum Fighter.
Tell me a little bit about Kabuki because I played it, but I want to know what you think about Kabuki Quantum Fighter.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this game a lot. This is one of those games that I found out about through an old YouTube friend of mine. I don't know if he still does YouTube or not, but his name was Rewind Mike.
Oh, I've
And
heard of him. I watched some of his stuff. Yeah.
oh shit, wow, wow, small world.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I found out about it through him, and I was like, oh, what is this? And then when I, popped it in, I was like, oh wow, this is a great ass game. Like, why is this so underrated? And then it's really good. I love like the way it looks. I love the music, and the character is cool. I like the platforming is really awesome, and of course, the one thing that a lot of people joke with me was that when I reviewed the game, I did this like really cringy skit where I used like my hair to like attack like this like teddy doll that I had, like Teddy from
Now I gotta
Persona
watch that.
4.
I still haven't watched that review. I gotta watch it now.
It's not great, but you might get a laugh out of it just for like being like, "Oh my god, dude, like why?" But
No, it'd be fine. I'm sure.
yeah, but no, like that's like the one thing that people always like make fun of me for, and I'm just like, yeah, yeah, it's fine. But no, it's but yeah, the dude
Hey,
attacks with his hair, which is funny.
yeah, I agree. Great game.
Yeah, I saw you
Platformer too.
stream it not
Yeah.
long ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. I went through it again. Yeah, fun game. Once I started playing it, because you reminded me of it when I talked to you, and then I put it in, and I couldn't stop playing it until I wanted to play it more. So,
Yeah, no, it's great. It's definitely one I would recommend to most people. Like, yeah, it can be a little bit hard at times, but I think
yeah.
it's at least, like, fun enough that you can kind of, like, appreciate it.
Oh yeah. You if you like it enough, you won't care that you didn't beat it because you'll want to go through it again and get a little further and a little further,
Yeah, yeah.
and maybe eventually you will beat it.
Yep. Alright, next up we got is Karnov.
Yes. Uh, I like Karnov. I beat it. I played through it. It's it could be called Car Jank because it's very janky. There's a lot of jank to it, and you play as a Turkish guy who spits fire, who's actually in Bad Dudes and as well that you fight the first boss. But yeah, it's weird because you get ladders to climb up and you can use items, but to use your items you have to kind of like hit. It's weird to select your items. You have to hit like forward and A or something to
Oh,
select them.
yeah.
So it's hard to pick your items in the heat of battle or something. But once you have to read the manual for Karnov and play it a few times to understand what's going on, and even then, there's a lot of jank to it that you kind of got to get past. Stuff will glitch through and stuff like that. But overall, it's an okay. It's a game you're not going to play anywhere else but on the NES in the 1980s, and I kind of like it for that.
Yeah, I played it before. I think I still own a copy of it, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I remember it actually being an okay game. Like, it has cool like aspects to it, and yeah, the fact that you get to play as like Karnov is kind of
Yeah,
funny.
I always liked him.
Yeah, and yeah, I remember it actually being pretty decent. But like you said, though, it does have its jankness to it. Like picking up the items is annoying and all this type of shit. But you know, I think it's not too bad.
Yeah, using the items is the biggest hurdle, but finding out where to go. But it's just a platformer, I should say. But yeah, that's Karnov. I think a lot of kids of the '80s have at least heard of them, or even '90s have heard of Karnov.
Yes. All right. Next we have is Kickmaster.
Yep, we got another Kid game. We had Isolated Warrior. Now we have Taito's Kickmaster. I think this is Kid. Is that right?
I know it's published by Taito, but Kid might have developed it, but I don't
Okay.
remember for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I played through Kickmaster. I like it quite a bit. It has like cool little RPG. You plays a guy who the only way to rescue the country is to use your powerful kicks. This beginning cutscene, your brother even says that. You level up when you hit an enemy. They explode into 3 items. You have to choose which one you want to pick: experience, money, or health, or sometimes poison. As you level up, you get experience, you level up, you get more different kicks. Once you get the knee drop, you want to use the knee drop a lot. You get a sliding kick, and yeah, it's fun. It's a unique game. It's like a platformer that kind of has some jank to it, but once you get used to the jank, you could kind of get past it. Have
Yeah,
you?
I actually enjoy Kickmaster. I thought it was just a very cool game, and yeah, like you said, like the fact that it's like kind of has like RPG elements with a platformer. Like you didn't really see a lot of games like that on the NES. At least ones like this one that was pretty
I
straightforward.
mean, yeah, more action based. Like, it'd be like if Ninja Gaiden or Gaiden. I corrected myself. I'm going to say Gaiden every time because
It's
that's how I
okay.
grew
You
up
can
saying
you can call it whatever you
it.
want.
But yeah, it's like if Ninja Gaiden had RPG elements, but it's not as fasty, fluidity as Ninja Gaiden. But it's a huge.
No, but I don't think it's like 100% trying to be like Ninja Gaiden, so
No,
it's
it's not at
okay.
all. It's just I was trying to compare it to like if you put RPG elements in something like that, it'd be kind of cool. And like you were saying, if there's not more like that,
Yeah, but no,
it's
I
kind of fun.
enjoy Kickmaster. I think it's cool, and plus, I just think the idea is just really over the top and stupid that it's great.
Yeah, I agree. Like if you just watch the first cutscene, his brother like dies, and my fists, I'm no use against these guys. Only your kicks can defeat him, or something. It's crazy.
It's so like corny, but it's great.
And I don't know. I don't know if you they plan this out, but next to Kickmaster, we have Cubicle,
Yeah.
Cubicle. Yeah. What do you think about Cubicle? Have you played?
Yes, I played this. I actually do own a copy of that one too, weirdly enough. And I
Hmm.
actually think this is a great game. It's
I
very
agree.
fun. It's kind of like a puzzle like
Hmm.
top down, sort of like Adventure Lolo, but I think it's actually a
Yep.
lot better because it's a little bit more unique where you got to like kick blocks to try to like get all like the enemies out and all that. It's actually really fun and addicting.
I agree. You make like ice blocks you can kick, and you can make like a pillar to stop stuff. They're like these. If you want to stop a block from hitting a spring or something, or block an enemy, you can make an ice block with B or A, and shoot ice with B. Some items you kick freeze enemies to kick them to make ice platforms, and then go across, get the bags of money or whatever, and then the item the like island blow disappears, and you go to the next area. Like this balloon takes you to the next area. But yeah, like you said, everything it's fun. I haven't played much of Lolo, but I do like this one a bit more than Lolo.
Yeah, no, this one's definitely a lot easier to get into than Lolo
Yeah, I
and
agree. I
has
agree.
like more interesting stuff going on for it. I will say the cover art for it I think is kind of shitty, which is a shame because I think it's actually a lot better than that.
Oh, you don't like the your guy with the earmuffs on him?
Well, he
The
just looks like a
person.
stupid baby. It's like why would you play a game as a stupid baby?
Okay, fair enough. I don't mind it, but yeah, I understand.
Yeah, like in the game like he doesn't look like a baby. He looks like a
Looks like
snowman.
a snowman. Yeah, a snowman with earmuffs or something.
Yeah, so it's like Like, why?
Yeah, I will say beating the game is challenging. There is an extra world, few worlds that are really extra challenge levels that I never did. So,
I never got them either. I never beat the game, but I got pretty far into it.
hmm once I was done, I beat the game. I got credits. I was like, that's good. I don't feel like playing more Kickle Cubicle right now.
Yep. And next up we got is Kid Clown and Nightmare World.
I have not played this at all.
Okay, I've played this. Actually, the Kid Clown series is a pretty weird rabbit hole to get into, but I won't re-explain the whole thing here. But I'll just say that, yeah, this one's a okay platformer. It's decent. I like the graphics in it. I think it's very nice, bright, and colorful. But yeah, it's a pretty okay game. You just like use balloons and you shoot them at people.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It is on the. It's another one of those NES games that came pretty late, and so it's one of the more expensive
Expensive ones,
ones.
yeah, because everybody
But
was on Super Nintendo or whatever, yeah.
yeah, well, the Super Nintendo game's actually a different game.
Oh, there's a Super Nintendo one. Okay.
Yeah. There's a different. It's actually a completely different game. But yeah, this one's more straight up platformer. But one weird fact I will give about this game is that in Japan, or no, I think it was actually a Bugs Bunny game in Japan, but then over here they changed it to Kid Clown. Or if it wasn't Bugs Bunny, it was like some other character.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know it's a Kemco game, because, they did the Bugs Bunny games. And I know Kid Clown was one of those games where, like, it was originally something else, but then they had to change it. Or no,
Okay.
wait, it was Mickey Mouse.
Of course, Mickey Mouse. That
Mickey
wouldn't fly
Mouse was in
over.
the Japanese version. He had the
Oh wow.
balloons, and then okay.
Wow. Huh. Man.
Yeah, like I
Not
said,
have guessed
interesting
that.
fact.
Interesting.
Yeah. Alright. Now we're going on to Kid Cool.
Did I play Kid Cool? I did play Kid Cool because it's really you move really quickly and jumping is really weird in it. So I think I did play this one. I remember not caring for it, but I didn't play it much.
I
I
never
remember it
played
being a
Kid.
platformer, and was this the one where you jump in the screen and the screen scrolls up?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I think I played this one. I'm gonna check it. Yeah, I did play this one. I don't remember much. Then it didn't grab me.
Yeah, I only played. Well, no, I didn't play Kid Cool, but I played a game that was made by the same company that has a lot of like similar like aspects to it. I think it was called like Psycho Fox or something. It was on the Master System.
Oh, Psycho Fox. I've heard of that. Okay, I didn't
Yeah,
know
it was
this.
made by the same company, and it actually has like the same mechanics where you can like when you jump on that little pole thing and it bounces.
Oh, okay.
It has like that
Oh
same
yeah, you bounce
mechanic.
back and forth or something.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. So I've never played Kid Cool, but I played other games that are similar to it. And then there was also that Decap Attack on Genesis, also has similar
Oh
elements
yeah,
too.
that's a game I want to go through. Decap Attack, which was a reskin of some other game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got another kid game. We got Kid Nicky Radical Ninja and then nice pink outline. I like this box art. I don't know what you think about this box art, but I quite
It
enjoy this.
it's cheesy, but it's fun.
Yeah, I agree. And the game's fine. I think it's a little hit detection is a little weird, but I think it's a cool, weird enough game platformer. Very early NES, but it looks early. But it's not too long. It does pick up and challenge, but I like. There's something about Kid Nicky I enjoy. I would say it's a good game, but
Okay.
maybe your mileage may vary. It's just a standard platformer you play as a kid ninja, and you have this twirling weapon that twirls like a hits enemies with it, and then it's one hit deaths. And the bosses are what really stands out. There's a guy with a big nose. It's like a weird. I can't remember what the last boss is, but there's weird bosses in it.
Okay, yeah, I played it. I didn't get very far through it. I remember the game being like having like a lot of like flickering.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, a lot of this.
Yeah, I remember that, and yeah, I remember it just being kind of like middle of the road.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's middle of the road, but there's a lot worse on NES at this time than Kid Nicky.
Oh, for sure. Yep. All right. Next we got is King's Knight.
I haven't played this game. I think it was Square developed, but I haven't played it.
Okay, I played this game. This is a game that I had pretty early on. I didn't get it like with my NES the day I got it, but I think I got it like maybe like a couple years later at like a thrift store. and I saw it. I was like, oh, this looks cool. And of course, it's a SquareSoft game, and that was around the time when I was just like kind of finally getting into a lot of like SquareSoft RPGs. So when I saw this, I thought it was gonna be an RPG, but it's not
Yeah,
one at
yeah.
all.
It's a shooter, right?
Yeah, it's a shoot 'em up where it's like it auto scrolls and you play as like a knight and you just gotta like you shoot swords at enemies coming up and all this type of stuff, and there's like power ups that look like arrows that go up and down, and if you have to try to get the up ones, it's kind of bizarre. I kind of like the idea of it, but I think the game is just kind of not the greatest, and it just I don't know. Like I remember it just being kind of like average, honestly. Like, it's definitely not as good as some of these other shoot 'em ups I've been talking about. Like, it's not as good as Gunnak or anything like that. Or
Mm-hmm.
Beret Fighter.
Mm-hmm. Number two, I think those are we talked about image fight and all those. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I did
Yeah,
know
it's.
a little bit about it. I knew Square did it. I knew kind of what it was a shooter, but it's interesting you had that game, you got that later, and you were turned off. You thought it was be an RPG, I could see, and then oh, it's a shooter. That must have been like expecting chocolate and getting lemon or something like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah, it's exactly like that. It was kind of funny when I look back on that. But yeah, like I said, I think it's just it's an okay game. I mean, I think there's a reason why Square didn't make that many shoot 'em ups.
Hmm. Oh,
But
they
that's
were
another
trying
discussion
different
for another
stuff. Yeah.
day.
Yeah. They were trying different stuff, I guess.
All right, next is Kiwi Craze, which
I
I
have
think is
not.
the New Zealand story.
Oh, this is Dizzy, right?
Not Dizzy, but the little kiwi bird.
Oh.
Um,
Oh, okay. I'm getting dizzy. I'm getting
it
okay.
is
Never
another
mind.
like British developed game.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't played Kiwi Craze.
I've never played it either. I think I played one version of the game. It was called A New Zealand Story, but I forget what console I played it on. I don't think I played it on NES.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Oh,
that's a thing.
huh. Must be quite a few of them.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. It has a different lot of different versions. Like I think there were some even on like the ZX Spectrum or something.
ZX Spectrum, as the British would say.
Yeah. All right. Next is the Creon Conquest.
Yeah, I played this. It looks and plays like Mega Man. You have all your weapons from the beginning, I believe. Limited continues, so it's hard in that regard. So you can't just keep trying and trying. You get sent back when you try, which is kind of punishing. Um, you have like a ball weapon, and you fly on a broom, which you can use like Rush, but you fly on a broom. Um, you play as a witch who flies around. Just think of a Mega Man, but not as good with a witch flying on a broom, and you got your weapons at the beginning and limited continues, and that's pretty much the Cryon Conquest.
Yeah, I played this game, and this is another one that I actually reviewed like ages ago. And here's the thing, I like aspects of it, but man, that game is fucking bullshit hard
Yeah,
though.
it's very hard. Yeah.
Yeah, but one thing that is interesting that I don't know if you know is that in the Japanese version of that game, it's actually like way easier because you can actually select like what level you want to play.
Well, that helps.
Yeah, because in that game, like they make you play like the levels that they want you to play, and I remember the second level being like ridiculously hard for a second level.
And yeah, I think it does have good. I mean, I just wish you had unlimited continues, and
Oh
I
yeah, in the
you can
Japanese
try
version,
it.
I think you have unlimited too.
Yeah, it's just the game's not good enough to want me to put that time and get sent back for what it is.
Yeah, that's a game like I said, like I'd recommend the Japanese version, but the North
Okay.
American version is like, yeah, like that's only for like the hardcore people that want
Yeah.
to like redo shit and are masochists.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you get into a game, maybe I get into Chiron Conquest want to do that. But when I was sitting down and playing it, not at the time, I did not want to.